12-year-old Evan Carter stood backstage, clutching the microphone with trembling fingers. His shoes were worn, his t-shirt faded, and his heart was pounding harder than the speakers behind him. All he could think about was his mother, lying in a small hospital room across the city, fighting to breathe. Just one performance, Evan whispered to himself, one song, and maybe I can save Mom. For months, his mother, Lily, had been suffering from a rare lung condition the doctors said required an expensive treatment, one Evan could never afford. But today, there was hope. The city's famous talent show, Star Voice, had announced a cash prize big enough to cover almost all the medical bills that he had. No fancy clothes, no professional training, no family cheering in the audience, that he had only his voice, and a reason stronger than anything else. Next performer, Evan Carter, the host announced. Evan stepped onto the stage. Bright white spotlights blinded him for a second, but he didn't freeze. He couldn't. Not tonight. Hundreds of people stared at him. Cameras pointed toward him. 3 judges sat behind the long glowing table. One of them, Judge Daniel Wright, the most famous music producer in the country, looked especially intimidating, his face unreadable. Evan swallowed hard. Tell us why you're here, Judge Daniel said. That Evan's voice cracked. I'm here for my mom. She's sick. I want to win so I can help her. The audience murmured softly. Daniel's eyes narrowed, but he said nothing more. Evan took a deep breath as the music began. It was a slow, emotional ballad he had secretly written for his mother, one she had never heard. His voice started soft and shaky, but then something shifted. That he remembered the nights his mother held him when he cried. The times she skipped meals so he could eat. The stories she told him to make the pain go away. Every sacrifice she had made, every smile she forced so he wouldn't worry. And suddenly, he sang with everything inside him. His voice rose, rich, pure, overflowing with emotion. People leaned forward in their seats, mothers in the audience wiped tears, children hugged their parents. Judge Daniel's hand slowly touched his chest as if the song had pierced straight through him. Something in his eyes changed, pain, longing, confusion. Evan didn't see any of it. His eyes were closed, his soul pouring into the final note that echoed through the silent hall. When he finished, the room was still. Then, boom, the loudest applause of the night exploded around him. People rose to their feet. Even the other judges stood, but Daniel didn't. That he just stared. Finally, he spoke. Evan, can you come here for a moment? The entire room gasped. No judge had ever called a contestant to the judges' table before. Evan walked hesitantly toward him. Daniel looked at him closely. Too closely. What is your mother's name? He asked. Lily Carter, Evan replied. Daniel's face turned pale. His hands shook. Do you have a father? He whispered. The question hit Evan like ice water. I never knew him, Evan said quietly. Mom said he left before I was born. Something inside Daniel shattered. He stood up, breathing sharply, eyes filling with tears. The audience froze. The other judges exchanged confused looks. Daniel's voice cracked as he spoke again, barely above a whisper. Evan. I think I'm your father. The hall erupted in gasps. Evan stared at him, stunned, unable to move. That's impossible, Evan whispered. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out an old photo, a picture of a young Lily, smiling, with a younger Daniel beside her. I loved her, he said, voice trembling. I didn't know she was pregnant when she left. I thought she moved on. I searched for her for years, until I lost all hope. Evan felt dizzy. His throat tightened. His heart raced. You're my dad? He asked, voice breaking. Daniel couldn't speak. He just nodded and opened his arms. Evan stepped forward slowly, then ran into his father's embrace. The audience exploded into applause again, many crying openly. Daniel held Evan tightly. I'm sorry, he whispered again and again. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Then he pulled back and wiped his tears. Your mother, Lily, where is she? Daniel asked urgently. She's in the hospital, Evan said softly. She needs treatment, and I don't know how long. You don't need to worry, Daniel interrupted, voice strong now. I'll take care of everything. Immediately. He turned toward the crowd. I am withdrawing as a judge for this round. But before I go, let me say this clearly, Evan Carter has a gift the world needs to hear. And today, I found the son I never knew I had. The crowd roared. Producers rushed onto the stage. Cameras zoomed in. Social media blew up instantly, but Evan didn't care about any of that. All he cared about was one thing: his mother was going to live. Later that night, Daniel drove Evan straight to the hospital. When Lily saw them together, she burst into tears. Daniel, she whispered in shock, you found us. Daniel knelt beside her bed, holding her hands. I'll never leave again. Evan hugged both of them, tears soaking his cheeks. For the first time in his life, he felt what it meant to have a family. Weeks later, Evan's mother completed her treatment, fully paid for by Daniel. Evan returned to the talent show and performed again, stronger than ever, and he won, not just the show, he won his family, his future, and his hope back. As he stood on stage with his mother and father beside him, Evan whispered, Mom, we made it. And the world watched the boy who sang to save his mother, and unknowingly sang his way into the arms of the father he never knew.